All right, welcome back. How about this? And now for something completely different, right? My next guest, he's a wealth advisor. It says it in the actual name of his firm. So we thought we'd throw him an example to see what he can do, like a case study. So if you get it, we'd like to get his thoughts on the proper way to move forward on this next idea. So it was something new that we thought we'd do, and it looks like it might be some fun. So we've got a situation that needs some answers, right? I have a friend with an elderly parent between the ages of, say, 70 and 80 years old that needs to downsize, right? That family home is no longer necessary. It's probably a little bit too cumbersome, and it's costing a lot of money to keep up with it, right? This person would like to move down, take something smaller and take some cash out and begin the next chapter in a new home on one level, all the while putting some of that cash in the bank. The new home will be cheaper than the sale of the old home, and so far, Social Security and retirement savings have been more than adequate. So, what are the tax ramifications of a move like this? Is it common? What things should they look out for? And at, say, 75, what would he do with the leftover proceeds from the sale? Let's bring on the expert, and please welcome to the show, Mr. Craig Bolanos. He's the head guy. He's the co-founder and wealth advisor at VestGen Wealth Partners. This is their job. A pretty simple, straightforward issue. Wants to downsize, say, middle 70s, I don't know exactly, but... and he's fine right now with the retirement money coming in, but he's going to have excess left over after the sale. There's capital gains involved there, I know. I don't know all the rules myself, but I thought, hey, let's ask the expert.
Well, you know what? There's a number of moving parts. Let's hit them right off the bat. Number one, I don't call it downsizing with clients. I call it right-sizing with clients, because more often than not, people are selling the 2,500 to 3,500 square foot family home, and they're buying a 1,500 to 2,000 square foot condo,
Exactly.
townhouse, or ranch. And I got news. Usually the cost is one in the same because of the demands. But if we were fortunate that we're going to have money left in the downsize, everyone, of course, wonders about capital gains. And as long as we've lived in that primary residence for 2 of the last 5 years, as your friends have, if they're single, they exclude 250,000 of gain. Married filing joint, 500,000 of appreciation, no capital gains tax. How fantastic is that?
And the monies that go for the new residents, that doesn't fall under the capital gains tax at all, right, or no?
Yeah, so no. So what ends up happening, Scott, is if I bought a house for $100,000 and my wife and I sold that house for $400,000 later, that means we had $300,000 of appreciation. $300,000 appreciation is less than the $500,000 exclusion. We're good to go. But this is very different than passive income properties where you're doing 1031 exchanges. Just think about it as this: if I made less than $500,000 on the house, no taxes. But your question is, if we have money left over, what should we do for it? And my first is, let's not invest it. Let's not put an emergency fund. Let's make sure that since you have money left over on this new property, that you have slain any debts that might be out there. Auto loans, I want them gone. Any other personal loans, anything else that could be there on the debt service side of the ledger, make them disappear, because retirement is all about cash flow, and not having debt improves your cash flow. But Scott, you talk a lot about investing. So maybe we ought to talk about where to put that money if we're 75 years old. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think, what do you do? At 75, are you all bonds? I mean, it's hard to be in the stock market. That's risky, isn't it?
Well, listen, I mean, you've long time said, just look at a chart of the S&P 500 and it's inspirational, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Markets climb a wall of worry. And boy, this year is an example of that. But what I would tell somebody is, hey, we just sold the house. Congratulations. We got a capital gains tax exclusion. Fantastic. We just made sure that we paid off all of our debt. Now, let's make sure we top off the emergency fund. That's high yield savings and rolling some treasury bills. Then when we're done with that, what are we going to do? Simple. We're going to make sure that our cash flow reserve, that's what we call it at VestGen, Scott, cash flow reserve. We're going to make sure we got 3 to 5 years of income, just in case monthly income is needed. I want 3 to 5 years parked away in various forms of bonds, and the rest of it, you know what we're doing? We're investing in a slice of America, partnering with great companies of America on a multi-asset class portfolio. And if there's enough money, that means some alternatives too. And that's how we grow our capital base to stay retired.
Okay, so, I mean, we all hear about the 4% rule. Explain that to us real quick.
Yeah, so there's all these different rules of thumb of how much money you can spend each year. But let's pretend somebody had $1 million. If you had $1 million worth of your nest egg, 4% withdrawal on 1 million is $40,000 per year. $40,000 per year is $333 a month. So as long as you're spending 4% or less of your nest egg using a balanced portfolio, you too should have no problems surviving in retirement. But Scott, I'd be happier if people thrive in retirement. And that's why the 4% rule, any of these withdrawal rules are nothing more than a starting
Right.
place. I think people need to customize it to them to enhance their income.
And then probably, and then what about Social Security? How does that play into things?
Well, I think everyone just needs to make a great decision. And making a great decision begins with, if you're married, no selfish decisions, because sometimes when people are married, someone's got a bigger benefit, someone's got a smaller benefit, no early claim if if your current wife or husband would get a survivor. And number two, after no selfish benefits, just get educated. Understand the difference between claiming early versus claiming at full retirement age. And not everybody, Scott, not everybody should wait until 70. Sometimes waiting until 70 for delayed retirement credits of 8% per year is fantastic. But sometimes I look at people and I'm like, you might just want to get started now.
I feel like there has been a little bit more of a movement that way, like take it as soon as you can, because who knows about the future and what your health may be or what your mobility may be or how much fun you can possibly have once you finally reach that 65, 67, or even say 70. So I've seen more and more research, at least that comes across my desk, that says take it as soon as possible. What do you think about that?
I think don't take it as soon as possible, but take it when the time is right for you. And for each of us, Scott, what we talk about at VestGen Wealth Partners is money means different things to each of us. And I think we have to remember this. There's no trophy for dying with the most money you've ever had at exactly the point in time you don't need it. Having a nest egg and money is about building experiences and lifestyle, and to a lesser degree stuff. So maybe it does make sense, as you said, to increase that current income now while you can enjoy it, or put it to other uses that bring happiness.
It's either that or those greedy little kids get it, Craig. That's the problem, right? So you got to be careful. All right. That's awesome stuff as usual. I really appreciate that. We're going to probably do more of these. I love this, Craig. Thank you very much. It gives you a chance to shine. That was fantastic stuff. Craig Bolanos, he's a wealth partner at VestGen Wealth Partners. He's the co-founder. All right.